Hi everyone, welcome to another postcard from the edge, and I must apologise for rather cruelly at the end of the last video leaving you hanging with the situation that we were in. We'd had a bid on our house which we'd accepted, and I go into all that in the previous video, and we submitted a sealed bid for the house that we had fallen in love with up in the Hebrides. If you've seen any of the earlier videos, you'll have seen me going up there and doing the viewing and everything, and we really thought we didn't even have a chance of putting a bid in, so we were trying not to think too much about that property, but as it happened, with the speed our house, we managed to get it on the market within a couple of days of me going to Scotland, and then we got viewings literally the day it went on the market and the day after, and just the third people to come round put in a bid, and as I explained in the last video, as we subsequently found out, with 3 minutes to go, we managed to get our sealed bid in before the deadline. So what happened? Fully expecting actually to be disappointed, because we knew there was a lot of interest in the cottage. It's beautiful. They'd had 10 or 12 people around, including some people who'd gone twice up to the Hebrides from England to view it. And that's a big undertaking. People are very serious when they're prepared to put that much effort into going to viewing a property, and especially going a second time. Anybody who goes and views a property like that just once is serious, but to go twice you're super serious. And we also knew that several of the people who were interested in the property were cash buyers, and the couple who were selling the house had told us that they were looking for a cash buyer because the house they were buying, the seller of that property needed to move as quickly as possible, and so being in a chain was not really a situation they wanted to be in. So really we were pursuing a pipe dream, I suppose, but our attitude is, he who dares wins. You've got to know that if you've got a passion for something, if it's something you really want, you've at least got to know you've done your very best. And if then it doesn't work out, well, you can't beat yourself up over it. You at least are clear in your own mind that you did everything you possibly could, and that's the situation we were in. We'd put our very best bid in that we could possibly afford. We'd managed to meet that deadline with 3 minutes to spare, and we didn't think we would have even had a hope of achieving that. But of course, then once you do that, then you're in the position that you're wondering what the result of that is. And so
I found this on the web.
I'm sorry, this is my Apple Watch talking to me. We were in the position that this was a Friday. Often sealed bids are put in on for a Friday, and so you might get a decision very quickly that afternoon. If the householder, the house owner, makes a decision quickly, you might get a call back from the agent to say your bid's been accepted, you haven't been accepted. But of course, that they may want to sit on it and think about it, especially I suppose if bids are a bit close to each other and people have got different circumstances. I can understand it. And the clock started ticking, so 12 o'clock bids had to be in, and 1 o'clock came, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we hadn't heard anything. And then we got a call from the agent, hearts in our mouths, but basically the agent was just telling us, look, the couple have had several bids and they want to sit on it over the weekend. And we're like, oh, okay, fair enough. We understand that, that's fair enough. So we're just going to have to try and sort of put it to the back of our minds, get on with our lives. We're still tidying the house, we're still getting stuff ready for car boot sales and all the other stuff that needs doing as respects a move, and so that we've got lots to do, so we'll just get on with it and we'll just have to accept it. Made worse though by the fact that the weekend in question It's a bank holiday weekend. And so we would not then hear until the Tuesday. So it's like going to be like a 3-day wait. This was Friday, so 3 full days before we would get a yes or no. But we thought, well, at least we haven't had a no and we're still in the running. Who knows what might happen. So that was about 4 o'clock. Elizabeth and I, we were just up in our bedroom. Actually, we were just sat on the bed chatting to each other, and this is what we were saying to each other. Come on, we'll get on with our jobs, and we'll try and have a busy weekend and put it to the back of our mind. And then my mobile phone rings, and I look at the mobile phone, and there's no number, but it just says, and it's this Hebridean island. There's only one person I know on this Hebridean island. The estate agent is not on the island. The estate agent is on the mainland. We don't know anybody else on the island. And I said to Elizabeth, it's the island, it's the island. It can only be the owners of the house ringing us. So I took the call, and it was Anne from the house. And she said to us, look, we know you've had a call from the agent, but we just wanted to put you out of your misery. And I kind of went, oh, here we go. We know it's a bank holiday weekend. We didn't want you to have to wait all the way till Tuesday just to find out. So, I just felt it was just the decent thing to do, to give you a ring, and let you know that we've accepted your offer. Completely. So I'm sort of gesturing to Elizabeth. We've won. Couldn't believe it. We're jumping around the bedroom, and I'm still trying to hold a conversation with Anne on the telephone. I was just thanking her. I couldn't thank her enough. I couldn't believe it. And she said, your offer wasn't even the highest offer. We'd had higher offers than yours and from cash buyers. But Graham and I just want you and Elizabeth to have the house. We just felt an affinity with you. We feel that you're going to take over kind of stewardship of the house and look after it, the house and the garden, and also become part of the community in the way that we wanted whoever took over the house to become. And right from you coming to visit, we were hoping that you would manage to get an offer in, and then they were really disappointed when they found out that we weren't cash buyers. Then I'd sent a message during the week to say, look, we won't be able to put an offer in because of that situation. But then they were delighted when they got the message early afternoon to say that we were, early in the morning, that we were going to try and put an offer in, and then they were hoping that the offer would arrive. And, so it had been a bit of a roller coaster for them as well, really. But we were just so grateful that they'd done that they turned away more money. They could have had more money for the house, and that they've chosen us. And I can't believe it. Part of the delay that afternoon had been because they had gone to the people, the guy who's selling the house they're buying, and they'd had to get permission from him to accept somebody who was in a chain. And, we don't know this chap, but we're so grateful to him that he kind of said, oh, okay, as long as they pull all the stops out and get the deal done as quickly as possible. And we'd explained what our chain was like, that it was short, and everybody in our chain is eager to move quickly for various reasons. I won't go into those, I won't bore you with that, but the 2 people in our chain are eager to move quickly for different reasons. And I just promised her that I would do everything within my power to make the deal go through quickly. And I'll talk a bit more about that in future videos, about how you can accelerate and expedite the conveyancing process. What you can do to make it easier on yourself and on everybody in your chain. So there we are. After I hung up the call, we were just dancing around the house and celebrating, and it's just joyous. We're over the moon. We cannot believe how, we just feel so blessed that the house that we've fallen in love with, that Elizabeth has not seen in the flesh. She's only seen my videos and got my word for it. So that feels like a huge responsibility, but I'm pretty confident she's going to absolutely love it as much as I do, and she is as well from what she's seen. I took an hour and a half's worth of video there and so on. But anyway, we just feel so blessed that we are going to have the life we've dreamed of for so many years, in for us what seems to be the perfect house. So that's where we are. We are over the moon. We've now got to move the selling of our house, and really helping everybody in our chain to move as quickly as possible so that we can help our sellers and do everything we can to show our gratitude to them for what they're doing for us. We feel very, very grateful to them. And we've got to now enter into that next stressful period in the house buying process where things can still go wrong. People can pull out, things can fall apart. The chain can be a fragile thing. There's lots of unknowns still, but you have to go through that stress when you're selling your house. There's nothing else that you can do. So more about that in future videos, but that's where we are. We are absolutely over the moon, and onwards and upwards. We now start to make our firm plans for moving to the Outer Hebrides, and we just can't wait. And we hope that you'll come along with us on the journey. We will chart the journey with these videos, and then hopefully, in a little while, you'll start to see videos of us on our journey up there, and the moving in process, and starting to make our new home as we settle into the community there. And we'll I'm planning to chart that progress. So please subscribe to the channel if you want to follow us along on the journey. We hope you do. And I'll keep making the videos as informative. I know they're a bit boring at the moment. It's me just talking to the camera because there's not really much to show you, but they'll become more lively, hopefully, once we get up there and we start to show you around the place that we bought, and show you what we do to it, and how we settle into life on the islands. Okay, that's it for now. Needless to say, much celebrating going on here. Okay, everybody, bye-bye for now.